Hey peoples, I just want to make a video just kind of talking about how I really got to know God. So yeah, my whole life I've been a Christian. Like I received God into my heart when I was like 6 years old. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it just because I feel like there are a lot of Christians out there that they use the term Christian pretty loosely, but they actually don't know God themselves. Like, truly, they don't know Him. And I just thought it would be cool if I shared my story and kind of my experience because I kind of had a similar thing. Whoa. Whoops. Yeah. So I grew up in like a Christian home and a Christian family. So I grew up, knowing all the Bible stories and, going to Sunday school, Sunday church and stuff, going to church every Sunday, the usual thing. It wasn't until I think I was like, yeah, it wasn't until I was 17 or 18, I'd go to church every Sunday and every time worship would start, I'd always just kind of, I don't know, I just wouldn't be into worship at all. Worship was my least favorite part of church, and then the message was kind of my favorite. Um but yeah, I just I just really wasn't vibing, I wasn't vibing. And yeah, I don't know. I just didn't feel God at all, really. And I didn't like worship, and I didn't really even like going to church, really. I felt bad for not feeling anything during worship. Or like, dude, I gotta feel God, right? And there were some songs where I would actually connect with God pretty well and I'd actually feel his presence. But then I'd make myself feel bad for going to a specific song to connect with God because in my brain I was like, no, I should have a strong relationship with God and just connect with him. Like, I should just connect with him with any song because that's dumb if I go to a specific song or something. And I was catching myself, like, sometimes some people would ask me about God or ask me questions and stuff. And I'd always say, like, yeah, I love God. Of course I love God. It wasn't until Holy Spirit actually made me think. And it was also happening, I was dating my girlfriend at the time. She's now my wife. Heck yeah. But the closer we got, and then engagement came, so I proposed to her. So our relationship was getting like serious. Marriage was the goal. So as me and Chloe's relationship was getting very close, I started looking at my own relationship with God and how I'd catch myself saying, like, yeah, I love you, God. But then I was like, how can I say I love someone if I haven't really taken the time to really get to know them? It doesn't really make any sense. I can't really love someone that I know a lot about. And that was when I was like, frick! Like, dude, there's so much more to God than I thought. It was in this time where I just had this thought, because I had never read the Bible beginning to end. And I'm actually still in the middle of reading it because it's a big book. As I was reading the Bible, oh man, I just felt like this fire inside of me. And I was reading the Bible to know who my dad is. And I was actually taking the time to have alone time with him. I would purposely do that. And that was a big deal for me because I would always postpone time with God or not even have time with him because I just thought it was boring and I didn't want to do it because I don't know. But then I suddenly started actually like wanting to have time with him and wanting to talk with him. And once you look at the Bible as history, which is what it is, you're reading about what your father has done. And that's just like meant something so different to me. And I was like, dude, that's my dad that did that. Like, it was just like, just total like shift in perspective and like actually getting to know him. it was just amazing. It was just so amazing. This is also when I really started to let go and just receive whatever God was giving me. Like, if I felt like listening to this certain song because I love this song and I connect to God with it, I'm gonna listen to it and worship Him, you know? Like, I'm not gonna listen to that dumb voice that's saying like, oh no, you can't do that because you gotta connect with Him with every song because whatever, you know? And I think that was totally just the enemy trying to freaking trick me into getting farther away from God, because then I started to realize like, oh my gosh, like not everything I'm feeling is me. Some of these feelings are God because His Holy Spirit's in me. So those times when I was like, oh, I really want to listen to this song because I connect with Him really deeply on this, that was God saying that, you know? And I was just like brushing it off aside, like, no, I can't because I need to connect with Him on any song because it just makes sense, when that was total BS. Something my dad said that I thought was genius. My dad said, think of it as like a phone number. Think of it as like a phone number that you're just calling Him with. Like, that song is your phone number to connect with Him right away. And I was like, good. I also remember like sitting in church during worship and being like, you know, there's gotta be more than this, because I don't feel anything right now. Like, I don't feel God's presence. I just want to leave. I just want to go home. I would just go to worship disappointed because I'm like, you know, this sucks. I don't like this. Like, there's got to be more to this. Like, we're talking about God, the creator of the whole freaking universe, you know, the creator of the world, the creator of us, human beings. There's got to be more than me just sitting down and worship and just hearing this music. So I had this little like fire ignite in me, and actually starting to take seriously my relationship with God. Being really close with Chloe and almost being married was actually a big like help in that too, because our relationship with our wife or husband is like a direct symbol of our relationship with God. It just really opened up my eyes. So yeah, I just had that fire ignite, and I was just like, I want to know God. How do I love someone if I don't even know who they are? You know, yeah, I know about the stories, and I know that He did this, and I know that He did that, but I have no idea what He thinks of me, and I have no idea what His character is like, what His personality is like. And it was a big deal for me to purposely want to read the Bible. I didn't want to do any of that. All of that was so boring to me because I didn't get any like results, you know? That was because I didn't have a hunger for it, you know? Like, if you don't have a hunger for Him, it's just, you're not gonna get the answers you're wanting because you're not wanting them. You're not needing those answers, you know? This is like when I just started to have time with Him and have the most amazing encounters with Him and have just amazing worship times. And I lived in a house, you know, with, I always have to count again. With 4 younger siblings, you know, it was a big deal for me to actually, you know, make some noise, like singing really loud. Because, you know, I just like was embarrassed. You know, I didn't want to yell the name Jesus in my room by myself because I was embarrassed what my siblings or my parents would think. But the more time I'd have with Him, the more comfortable I'd be with God. And then the more comfortable I'd be with just acting on whatever the Holy Spirit is telling me to act on, whether I felt like yelling or singing really freaking loud. You know, the more time you have with God, the more comfortable you get with Him. You know, it's like dating. I want to know this person. Like, you're getting to know someone, and then after you get to know them, you know, you fall in love with them. It just made sense. It just made so much more sense. Like, oh, I'm getting to know a person. God is a person. He has emotions. He has a personality. He has feelings. Like, what? He has all of that? So that's when I was like, dude, this is awesome. God God gets sad, God gets angry, God is joyful, God is happy. Like, just to realize that was like amazing. And like getting so comfortable to where I did not give a care about what anyone thought what I was doing. Because once you realize life is all about God, you don't freaking give a crap what Johnny thinks of you. During this time, I would be in my car, I would park in the parking lot, get to work like 10 minutes early, and I'd be worshiping him in my car. My car has no tint, you know, sometimes my windows would be cracked open, and I'd be freaking singing so loud. This was a time when I worked at Starbucks, so I was parked right by the drive-thru, so people would drive by. They would stare at me because I'm like, I don't know, like, I'd be staring too because I'm like going crazy for God in my car, waiting till my time is up to go to work, you know? So it's like, the more time you spend with God, the more on fire you get for him. And yeah, and I'm still right now trying to figure out like what it really does look like to live life with God, you know, 24/7. I don't want to completely abandon him, you know, on accident because life gets so freaking busy. So, you know, right now I've just been kind of trying to find that balance between life and God and bring them intertwined because, you know, God gave us life too. Like, he wants us to live it. So I just wanted to say, you know, like, if you're a Christian and you feel dumb for realizing that you don't actually know God, that's what I felt like. And it's fine if you realize you don't actually know him. It's amazing that you even realize that if you are, because that means you can get into a deeper connection with him, which is totally freaking worth it. So yeah, take that deep dive into getting to know him. Don't let anyone's perspective of God sway you, because when a rumor goes around, you don't just trust the rumor right away. You go to the source. You ask the person, hey, did this actually happen? Because, you know, you hear all this stuff about God doing terrible things, God's wrath, God's anger, how he killed someone's best friend, how he ruined this family's life, how he never helped this family or some. All this crap that people blame God about. Don't just go to believing it right away. Just go to God and fact check that. Like, you need to go on that journey for yourself instead of going off of someone else's, because you don't know what that person's been through. You don't know what stuff they've been through that would maybe flaw their perception of God. Like, maybe they had a bad upbringing and God was shoved down their throats and it was forced on them. You know, if you want to know God, you need to go on that journey for yourself. If you go for yourself, you will find answers. And if you really know God, you know that he is always good. He is always good. And you just have to trust that too. And life gets crazy, dude. And I'm 20 years old. I still have a lot of life to go. 100 more years of life. Live until I'm 120. That's what's up. Dude! He is freaking awesome. I have so much to say. Maybe I'll make some more videos like this. Yeah, I just wanted to explain how it went for me. Don't forget, God is always here. His Holy Spirit is in us. You can ask him anything, anytime. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. I might make a Q&A video with my wife, Chloe. Because that would be pretty cute. If you have any questions or you want to talk more about God, just let me know. You can follow my Instagram if you're interested in my personal life. Thanks for watching. Peace out.